What's up, guys? I am flying solo this week. Corey's in Vegas doing a bunch of cool stuff. So he left me out here. But I do have some great news. If you join this for Corey, have no fear. I'm not actually alone. I'll have a lot of guests joining me, actually. I got Wes Mena, James Siekmann, Luke Simonds. I got Delvin Hamlet. I got Dorian Perez. I stacked this show to make sure that we're all having a good time. We got plenty of things to talk about, a lot of questions to ask, a lot of questions to answer. But I appreciate you guys tuning in. As always, man, what a great episode. A little less clean, right? I've been one to talk a lot about the cleanliness of the season thus far. This week, not such a clean slate. A lot of different fouls. You had multiple fouls where one takes precedent over the other. You had some weird ones. I actually think you had a foul that I'll talk about in a little while when I go over the Godfrey fight. I think he got away with a foul there. And we have our little internal group chat, and F3 agreed also that there was a foul in there that Godfrey might have got away with in that first round. But we're going to break it all down. Like I said, for those of you who are joining a little late, we've got James Siekmann, Luke Simonds, Wes Mena, Delvin Hamlet, Dorian Perez, all lined up to join the show this evening. So it's a stacked show. If you guys got questions, make sure you drop those questions in the chat. And while I wait for the gentleman to jump in, let's get into the Godfrey fight. Obviously, Darren Godfrey's from the UK, so there's a time difference there. We'll get an interview done with him, but unfortunately, he won't be able to make it on tonight. But I will talk you through a little bit about what I'm talking about when I say that he got away with a foul, and you guys let me know if you agree here. So I'm not obviously can't show you guys volume for copyright reasons, but if you look here, skip a little bit ahead. I believe personally, if you watch this, I think that this first strike is absolutely a club, and I think that he gets away with it. I'm actually going to slow this down. Let's do it in 0.25. Even though they slow it down for us, I like to be pretty honest here. So while we wait for some of the guys to jump in, and you guys let me know what you think if I'm off about this. But again, I think like I said, F3 we have our little group chat for Slap News, and F3 he said it as I was typing it in my notes. I absolutely think Mr. Godfrey got away with a club here. Watching it again, yeah. So Ryan Phillips says it's a karate chop. I cannot disagree, my man. Cannot disagree. That was a tough one. That was very, very positioned in a way that it was more kind of sideways, and he hit more with the bottom of his palm versus that kind of that clean and flat motion that you're looking for. So I think that the referee gave him a blessing there. Again, like I said a minute ago, not exactly the clean episode we were looking for. I think that there were quite a few fouls going both ways here, but nevertheless, you got video of the Wes Mena one. Of course, man, we got video of everything. What are we talking about, Brandon? Let me know. Sorry, Brandon White. Excuse me. What part are we talking about? I can get you want here. So this was a weird fight. Now, and like I said, we'll have some of these guys joining. Both of these guys are going to be here. Wes Mena, also James Siekmann. So we'll talk to them both a little bit about kind of what went on here. But this was an interesting one because what ends up happening is so this right here, Siekmann gets called for a club, but Wes Mena actually flinched. So in hindsight, they switch it up on us, and although it's in the moment it's ruled a clubbing foul, Chris Tione goes on, obviously great referee, goes on to say that there was actually a striker foul on both sides, an offensive foul and a defensive foul. And so the defensive foul will take precedent because it, in theory, causes the offensive foul. So Wes Mena gets called for the flinching foul, and James Siekmann elects, as expected, to strike again. Let's see here. We'll keep going. So yeah, this fight wasn't, like I said, wasn't the cleanest. Definitely not. Definitely not the fight we were looking for when it comes to big guys. But I think that we have prospects on both sides. If I'm being honest with you, I wouldn't be upset if Siekmann gets retained, even though he gets disqualified. And I'm also not upset. Although Wes wins by disqualification, I have great hope for him. Great, ideas for his prospect in the future. So absolutely excited. Let's see here. If that was a clean strike, that is a great knockout. But unfortunately, these things happen. It is what it is. Again, not exactly what we hope to see, especially when you have a knockout like this. And in the moment, I'm sure it even seemed like, if you listen to Chris Taione, it seemed like he didn't really know what was going on either. So just overall disappointing. You never want to see that, but like I said, great performance from Siekmann overall. I mean, aside from those the fouls, what I mean is just he has potential, and Dana talks about it here. It's definitely something that we'll keep watching the guy, and I think that if he cleans these things up, he could definitely be a hot prospect in the division. Vince Tracy in the chat. Obviously, now we know, man, you get to fight next week. If you haven't seen already, Vince was on a Canadian news outlet, pretty mainstream stuff, talking a little bit about Power Slap. And I thought, one, it's incredible to get that kind of press, but also above and beyond that, I think as an ambassador for the sport and just kind of talking about some of the regulation and the preparation and things that you do to prepare for these moments, as well as trying to make the sport safer. I think overall it's definitely something that those things are great. I mean, generally speaking, and I know you guys know I believe this, all press is good press, but of course it's always great to see it. And I've talked a lot about what I perceive to be, and I'll stop sharing here, what I perceive to be kind of that shift in the perception of the people. But really, really exciting news. I told you guys a little bit about some of our guests. I'm going to update that. Unfortunately, James Siekmann will not be joining us. It looks like we had a little bit of a conflict, but I've got Dorian Perez, Delvin Hamlet, Luke Simonds, and Wes Mena coming. And speaking of somebody joining me, I got one of these guys here right now. Luke Simonds, come on up, brother. How are you?
Yo, what's up? How are you? I'm good.
My partner in crime, Corey, can't be here today, but definitely excited to talk to you, man. Great performance up there, for your first fight. What did you think of the episode overall?
I thought it was great. I mean, I wish it was a little bit longer and more detailed, like a lot of people want. But it showed what I needed to showcase, and I got the job done. I really wish I wouldn't have went on 2 instead of 3, though. Like, that was the one thing I wasn't practicing, because I just, I thought I had it. Everything else I was keeping my feet planted, and that was the one thing I didn't practice, and that's where I messed up.
Yeah. What do you think happened in that moment? Was it about kind of a misunderstanding of the measure being its own separate thing? Was it the nerves? What do you think happened?
Yeah, I counted my measure as 1. So, and I guess I mean, I feel like a lot of guys, I've heard it's happened before, so I'm glad I'm not the first one that's done that, because I felt
it has happened before. It doesn't happen often, but it has happened before.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's a point taken. But I think what's impressive is that you were able to recover from that moment. I'm sure you were kind of freaking out because you're starting to fight. This is your first round, and you already got a foul, a point taken. So now you have no room for error. Let's start kind of back at the beginning. Obviously, we get a little bit about your background, some conversation of kind of your bodybuilding background and what you do to prepare for that. And you alluded to the idea that maybe that stuff helps you, right? Being able to do like chest flies and exercise for your pecs and your shoulders. Mm-hmm. In hindsight, I'm assuming you filmed all that before you fought. In hindsight, do you still believe that your training for bodybuilding and you being a bodybuilder helps you in the sport of power slap?
Oh yeah, it definitely helps. Just the fact that you can get injured very easily, just like Rod threw his shoulder out when he made contact that one time. Just being healthy and in shape, and especially having mobility in your shoulders, it helps me prevent from getting injured. And then the chest flies, I do a lot of strength stuff where I'm strong away from my body. And when you slap someone, you want to be strong away from your body as well. And the chest fly, it mimics that exact same thing as the slap. You got to be strong out here so the power can actually translate. Like some guys, I'll bench press, but that bench press power, it only translates so much if you're not actually strong far away from your body. And another big one, barbell pullovers, same kind of thing. You lay down on a bench and you go back with the barbell, and it gets all this lat engagement, it gets everything working together. So it helps big time, and it gave me confidence, just knowing I'm a big dude. It all plays in to the picture, it all adds up.
Yeah, one of the things that we noticed up there was your connection with your coach, right? You seemed like you were really looking to him for some of that guidance. At one point, he got so animated, he was trying to encourage you to jump up and down that the referee actually told him to stop. What did you make of Austin Turpin as a coach?
He was a really good coach. He helped me more the mental side of things, because like there was so much going on at practice. I wish we had more of a structured practice, but I was already confident in being able to train and from bodybuilding, so I needed more of the mental side of things anyways. So he helped me with that a lot. When he told me to jump up and down, I mean, in general, I'm just always looking at this to be teachable, because if you're teachable, that's how you're going to learn stuff and get better. Some guys, they go in there, they think they know everything, and you can't learn anything if you're talking. You got to listen. So I just really am like, all right, I'm going to be a sponge, absorb everything I can. And that's what I did.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great way to put it. I think, being coachable and being open to the coaching is important. And, you kind of have to put the ego to the side and really listen to what they're trying to tell you. Just my own personal observation, I don't know if the people in the chat will agree with this, but it seemed like in the build up to this, from what was shown in the episode, I'll start with Cesar. Cesar seemed like he was I'm going to knock this guy out. I look tougher than him. I look meaner than him. He doesn't have the energy that I feel like he's dangerous. You seem more open to the idea that anything can happen, right? Like whatever happens up there, I'm going to go out there and give it my all. So that meant that you could win. That meant that you could lose. Talk to me about, what gave you that mindset? Why do you think, obviously you go out there and you get the job done. You seem more with the fact that I'm out here and whatever's my destiny. Talk to me, what gave you that mindset? It was a better mindset.
Just being in shape. My girlfriend's talking to me. She's kind of distracting me.
Okay.
Yeah, just being in shape. That helped me a lot. Just knowing that I have the ability to recover, because I'm always recovering from training very frequently. And, if your muscles are recovering, your nervous system's got to recover really quickly. And I knew Cesar was going to be a tough opponent. And one of the things I was saying in the interview, they didn't put it on there, but I was like, I know if I get knocked down, I'm going to be able to recover and get back up because of all that training and the nervous system recovering so frequently. And it translated into me getting knocked down and getting right back up. Exactly what I said in my interview happened. I just wish they put that on there. A lot of stuff, like I even told my girlfriend before I even flew out to Vegas, I was like, I'm going to come back with the black guy and the checks. And that's exactly what happened. I had a black guy afterwards and the checks. So I just had a lot of confidence. I had to believe in myself, because my whole life, a lot of people hadn't always believed in me. And I gave people reasons to have, disbelief in me and things. I'm just trying to grow and get better as a person. I've had a lot of failures. So just having that faith in myself and that vision was very important. That was the main thing for me, having the belief in myself.
Yeah, I think a lot of guys sharing that mindset and just being able to be confident that you're going to go up there and you're going to do whatever it is you believe you're capable of doing. Obviously, you go up there and you get this done in round number 2. So that means that you were able to absorb your first strike. A lot of guys, they go out there, they have an easy day at the office. They just kind of get their opponent out of there and won, and they maybe the coin toss was in their favor. Are you glad that you were able to get that experience, at least, absorb a strike, so you kind of know what it feels like going into your second fight?
Yeah, I'm actually glad it went down the way it did. I show that I can take a hit, give a hit, I have knockout power. I answered all the questions that need to be answered in that first fight, other than going like a full 3 rounds or maybe 5 rounds when they hadn't had that opportunity. But yeah, I mean, I answered all the questions I feel like needed to be answered. I was glad it played out the way it did.
Yeah, and then obviously, we talked about the illegal windup in that first strike, but your second strike was clean, and he's expecting it, and it just completely eviscerated him. It knocks him clean out. You would think, and I mean, again, it might be ignorant of me, but you would think that the strike that he doesn't expect that you hit him with would knock him out. What do you think it was about that second strike that just kind of made it, the end of the night for him?
Yeah. Well, the first hit, I could even feel my hand. It didn't even hit him. Like, it was like half my hand hit him. I feel like I hit him with just the fingertips. So, and I was mad that I went illegally. I was really mad at that, but I didn't let it get to me. And then, yeah, and because I knew I only hit him with half my hand, I was like, I got knocked down. That gave me an adrenaline rush. And that adrenaline rush, I feel like it allowed me to use all of my strength and my power. Like when you get in a life or death situation, fight or flight situation, you can engage so much more energy and power. So when I went up there, it didn't show me look at him, but I did where I looked to the left of his jaw and the right, measured. I took my time on that one, and then that adrenaline, it powered through. It was right on the money. It was crazy how it happened. Like it felt like it was slow-mo. That's what people say in a lot of, situations or crazy things that happen. But like, I remember seeing my hand fly so fast and then made the connection with his face. And it's like, and I've never done sports where you make contact and punch or nothing other than like wrestling and football. So that's the first time I've ever knocked someone out. And it's like you touch somebody and then it's just like magic, and that feeling was crazy for sure. I mean,
what a way to describe it, man. I'm going to share my screen here so that we can talk through a couple moments of your fight. I won't go through the whole thing because it was a little long, but obviously, and you won't be able to hear sound on here just for copyright purposes, but you just obviously hit him. It was an illegal windup. What is going through your head right now? He's about to hit you.
I mean, I took the illegal windup and I was just like, I hit him illegally. And I'm like, I had to get over that immediately. As soon as I messed up, I'm like, I can't do nothing about it now. Get over that mental hurdle. Don't stay stuck on it, because then you're going to mess up. So I went in, took the next hit, and I thought the first hit was going to be the hardest hit he hit me with. And I was like, that's the best he's got. Then he hits me even harder, and my ears are ringing. But no matter what, my mentality going into that was, get through it. As long as you're not out, you're getting up and you're doing this thing.
Yeah, obviously he gets a foul called on that one. But
I still took it with the stepping foul, yeah.
Yeah, you got up pretty quickly. I know that's something that Austin doesn't necessarily promote, is that really, really fast getting. I think that's why he was probably telling you to jump up and down, was so that you could wake yourself up and get your wits about you. But so you come here, and I just want to highlight one particular moment in this. Obviously, he knocks you out. Did you see Dana and Hunter's reaction to this?
No, they weren't in there. I don't know. Like, I think.
Someone else asked that.
Yeah, so you drop them here. Look at their reaction. You see them; they're freaking out. The two of them.
Yeah, I know that. Like, whenever it all happened, like Dana was in there for James's fight, and I thought Dana didn't see my fight, but he must have left really quickly after.
Yeah, him and Hunter were pretty surprised, but the part I really want to focus on is if you watch it when they do the slow-mo here, his lips kind of blubber a little bit.
Yeah,
that's probably the first time I've seen that. Did you know it was over at that moment? And again, it'll show here in a second.
Yeah. Just when I hit him, it just felt like a knockout hit. Because I didn't feel it really, so that's how I knew.
Yeah. So check this out. Check this out. See his lips. See how he kind of. Hold on, that's not the right one.
Yeah, but like the air is like.
Yeah, I think here it is. There it is. You see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, his lips kind of blubber. I've never seen that personally. That's pretty vicious stuff. I mean, you've seen the leg shaking and stuff like that, but when I saw that, I was like, wow, this guy really hit him with a lot. Did you know, like, before he even hit the ground? I mean, what did you see? You hit this guy, he starts to fall over. I'm sure to you, it feels like a quarter of a second. It's very fast.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was in slow motion. I mean, we hit that as well. Did you know at this moment that this was the end of the fight?
Oh yeah. All I remember seeing is him falling backwards, and I'm taking off, celebrating, jumping up and down before I even see him fall. I didn't even like look back over at him on the ground. I just knew it was over. And I'm celebrating, and then by the time I'm done celebrating, everything happens. Like I don't even remember seeing him on. They got him up and out of there so quick it felt like. But I mean, I definitely got concussed that fight. Cesar hits like a truck. Like he's a definitely an opponent that I'm glad I shared the stage with him.
Yeah, I mean, it's always great to have experience up there. Like I said, your first time up there, obviously you have a little bit of a moment in that first round, but you get them out of there in the second round impressively. It looked like the bosses were impressed with you. So really excited to have you in the sport. You guys are the only light heavyweights that we've seen so far on the show. So that's also important. Real quick before I let you go, what do you walk around at?
It varies depending on my style of training I'm doing. Prior to Power Slap, I was 190 pounds because the job I was doing, and like I gained 15 pounds. Well, by the time I weighed in, I was 202. So I gained like 12 pounds within a month just to get up there, and that was just because I was doing so much cardio with my job, and I would jog like 6 miles a day. So I stopped the jogging. I stopped my job early so I could have time to eat and all that. And then now I got a different job because they didn't hire me back, and they said they would. But either way, it worked out because I got a better job.
Yeah, you got a job here at Power Slap too, my man. It looks like.
Yeah, for sure. I'm excited to see where things keep going. But I walk around now. I'm like 215, and I'm trying to get up to 225. So I'm gonna try to be as big as possible, and then drop all this water weight off and stuff. As if I have like a month or two, knowing when my fight's about to happen, I know how to dial it back in, lose some body fat, and then the last 10 pounds of water weight as it gets like a couple weeks out. The bodybuilding aspect helps a lot with making weight. Doing this for 12 years, I'm really comfortable, and I know my body, and I know how to make weight healthily. A lot of guys just drop water weight, and if your body composition is not muscular, it's a lot harder to make weight. Your muscle's like a sponge, and a lot of people don't realize that.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely bring a unique, knowledge base and experience to the table, being a guy that's a bodybuilder. I know Corey won't. He can't wait to talk to you because Corey does a lot of stuff in the bodybuilding space. But I won't steal his thunder. He'll reach out to you guys to do an interview, and I'm sure he'll tell you all about it. But thank you so much for joining me, man. Great performance. Really exciting prospect in the light heavyweight division. And we can't wait to see you back up there, Luke.
Awesome. I'm ready for it. Thanks for the interview.
Take care, brother.
You too.
All right, Chad, moving right on. As promised, another guy a lot of people know, haven't seen in a while. Pretty excited to bring him on here. My man, DTP. What's up, brother?
What's up, bro? Hey, why you look so sad, bro? Look at you. You're frowning and shit.
Nah,
I need to bring that energy up for me, bro. Bring that energy up for me. Give me a smile. Give me a
I'm going
smile.
to smile this whole time.
Hell yeah.
You're my guy, man. What's up, brother? We haven't seen you in a long time. What you been up to? What's going on? What's new in the life of DTP?
Shit, I just been training basically full time, bro. I've been training my little brother. So seeing him grow and stuff, and seeing him just get motivated and get excited about, working out his mental fortitude as long with his physical aptitude. It's like really rewarding for me, bro. And I've been getting big at the same time. I'm staying around the same weight, but I'm losing fat and packing on muscle. So I feel good, bro. I saw what you said about me last night. You said I wasn't ready for a title fight, bro. But let's lay the facts out. Danny got a title shot off of DQ loss, right? Ryan got a title shot off of being 1-2. Nate got a title shot off of knocking out a can. I'm the only motherfucker that's been in here. I went 4-0. I knocked out fucking 2 former champions. I knocked out a fucking current champion in John Davis back before you even knew who Power Slap, what it was even about or what it was. So I'm pretty sure with those credentials, I could just walk into a title fight at any time. You know what I mean? So I'm ready. I've only ever been defeated by myself and by doing stupid shit like DQing myself. No one's ever defeated me, knocked me down, or gave me any sort of trouble. And fucking James Siekmann has the same slap score as Brian Ellis. I'm not worried about that fool either. So let's fucking get it, bro. I'm ready. I'm in there like
there's anybody up there that makes sense for a title shot to you, but I'll have to go back and watch it. I don't know that I said you're not ready for a title shot. More than that, I don't want to. I just think that's a bad precedent to set. We haven't seen in a while, but I mean, if there's like you said, if there's anybody, your chin is incredible. Your power, I remember vividly. I think we spoke after it, but the James Stoneyr fight, like incredible, just stuff like that is classic DTP. And obviously we want to see you back up there. But again, I believe
I'm ready, bro. I'm ready. I just think that they gave me some time to evolve. I think they gave me some time to evolve and grow. And I really have, I feel like I'm coming into my own. I'm coming into my very, very starting to come into my prime right now. So I feel really fucking good, bro. I'm ready to take this shit over. I'm a pirate. I'm ready to take over the whole shit.
So let me ask you this: we had Brian Ellis on the show yesterday, and we didn't really talk about this, but if he was to say, I deserve a title shot because I beat Dorian, even though again there's an asterisk next to it, what would you say to that? What would your response be?
Yeah, if he beat me decisively, he'd be ranked above me. You know what I mean? There's a reason he's not ranked above me is because he couldn't hurt me at all. I handed him that win money by DQing myself. I did the same thing against Dwayne. They've both beaten me, but no one has defeated me. You know what I mean? So I'm not really worried about it. If he wants to run it back, we can do that. I just think that him saying that it should be Nate or Ryan again doesn't make any sense whatsoever. He just doesn't want me to have a title because he doesn't want to go 5 rounds with me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think anybody on the planet would say that Damian DeBell versus Dorian Perez would be a boring fight. That's for sure.
I'm gonna bring it to him, bro. I'm gonna make him look like the Liberty Bell with a big old crack in his jaw.
Bro, DTP, where you been, man? We need this energy back.
Come on, bro.
So
Come on. I've just been in the wings. They put me in the dog cage. I've just been fucking doing push-ups and fucking wearing black. Let's get it.
So you have no injuries. There's no reason why you're on the sideline right now. So
I'm good, bro. I'm good. I fought so often. Like even in street beefs, I had 5 months where I fought 5 fights back to back, 5 months, and then came into Power Slap. I started doing the same thing. Like my orbital bone was still broken after I fought Dwayne, and I knocked out James with that injury. So I'm glad I knocked him out in one shot because probably would have cracked my shit all the way through. You know what I mean? So I'm used to fighting injured, and coming into this fight or coming into this time, I've never felt like I've had time to rest. So I've had it now, and now I feel like I'm fucking ready to be let out the cage.
And obviously, I know you've been watching the show. What do you think of the new heavyweights?
They're cool. I like the energy. I like James' energy. He brings it to people, and he talks shit online, and that's cool with me. He as long as he can fucking bring it in person, then let's get it.
So I haven't seen his performance tonight.
You didn't watch it tonight? I watched it right before I hopped on.
I can play it for you if you want.
Yeah, I mean, he fell into the trap that I fall into, and it's not like a lack of technique. It's more so like being able to calm down when you're ready to do your offense. Like defense, you should be hyped. Offense, you should chill the fuck out and focus on your body movement. You know what I mean? If you get too hyped and you fucking go to like octane 10, you know, it's hard to come back down.
Can you see this?
Yeah, I can see.
All right, cool. So obviously James doing his first strike here. Turpin, typical Turpin. So looks all right, and then he gets called for clubbing here, but then they review it. They say that Wes flinched, so obviously the defensive foul takes precedent because in theory it caused the offensive foul. So he walks away with this one, as he should. Now let's look at this. Is
it's so funny that Turpin calls everybody a bitch on stage. I swear to God, if he coaches against me and he calls me a bitch, I'm drop kicking that little motherfucking meatball right in the fucking face off the stage. I'm doing a motherfucking swanton bomb. I'm attacking that motherfucker. You're not gonna call me a bitch on national television. I'm gonna hit you with the people's elbow. I'm gonna show you what the fuck a rock was cooking. You know what I mean?
He does hype his guys up, and then
everybody. Better choose your words, goddammit. All right, go ahead, my bad.
There you go, brother. All right, so we get the second strike in round one. Cracks him. Wes looks like he's not really interested, and then he recovers.
It looked like he was doing the stanky leg. I mean, he looked like he felt it, but he tanked that one pretty fucking good. He made it look like it didn't hurt, you know, as much as he could. You see his shoulder wobble right here.
Yep.
Right. His shoulder wobble. It's like, damn, that fool was really trying to keep it together.
So Siekmann gets called for a club there. So now you got flinch on the blue side and a club on the red side. Wes is going to deliver his back. Siekmann's face looks a little nervous, but overall took that strike.
It looked like blue was just lining up too close. You know what I mean? Maybe when you line up too close like that, you kind of take power off because you feel like you're gonna club. You know, if he didn't club that time.
Yeah, for sure. That's always something that you see the guys change. Either they're too far, too close, or they find the perfect spot.
Yeah, it kills me sometimes, bro, because some of these motherfuckers are like the wife off of Bob's Burgers. Like they got like no under chin, and it's just beard, and you're like slap through their beard. You're like, oh shit, he didn't even have a chin. Like.
So obviously this one he's just not having. I mean, he's not interested. Similar at first when he first connected, I saw kind of the same body language, but this time he actually loses his footing.
You can see it coming though from how he reacted to that last one. It's the damage is accumulative. You know what I mean? If you can't shake that shit off and you're still worried about the damage from last time, and you got another one coming at you, you can't shake that shit off, then you might as well fucking quit. You know what I mean? Some people do quit, take out their mouthpiece and shit, get on a knee. To me, that's quitting, you know?
Yeah, so this foul wasn't caught in the moment. It was caught after a review. So we find out at the end, you know, if you're watching the show, you don't really know until they pan to this that now Siekmann's going to be disqualified for a stepping foul because it caused the KO. And so, you know, unfortunate, of course, but to that point of you talking about kind of the knees and the way that people absorb knockdowns, we've talked about this before the last couple of weeks. Austin Turpin kind of recommends that people do that. Like if they're wobbly or whatever, he says a lot. You know, take a knee. And a lot of the guys say they feel like it's a good strategy. It helps them get grounded, and then they sort of take advantage of the 10 count, then pop up to their feet. It doesn't sound like you would agree with that, but I might be wrong.
Nah, there's like to me personally, there's like a whole optics sort of judging that's not on paper. You know what I mean? People are gonna judge everything's about looks and optics and shit. If you look like you're hurt and you look like a fucking like you're defeated, you look like you're taking the knee, then you probably are. And in the fucking zeitgeist and in the people's eyes, you are. You know what I mean? You talked about like people losing fights and still gaining followers. Like I gained more followers than Dwayne after I lost to Dwayne because I never backed down from him. You know what I mean? I don't think you should back down and use technicalities and use rules and, you know, I'm gonna just pretend like I'm hurt and then I'm back up again. No, dude, like you gotta fucking tank this shit. You gotta face it. Like if you're not about it, you're not about it.
And when you compare kind of, you know, obviously you were in season 1 of the house. You know, what do you think?
I was before that. I was like in the preliminary. I was gonna be in season 1 of the house, but I got car accident. Fucking debacle. So
that's
I
right.
came in, and then
what was the
Power
injury that
won
you
and
had?
knocked out the paint.
What was the injury that you had when you
I was
got
in
to
the
the
car.
car?
I broke my nose and broke my rib.
That was it. Yeah. Long time ago, man. But you were around from back back then. So I'm assuming you
Yeah.
watched. What?
I'm sorry, you're cutting out a little bit, bro. Can you repeat that?
No, you're good. What do you think of the evolution of the athletes and the talent from season 1 to season 2 to season 3?
So, like, I'm unique into this because, like, I was at the beginning, but I also didn't compete in season 1. So, like, I got the opportunity to, like, watch everybody, watch how everything plays out, watch how they're going to call shit. And I got kind of to get comfortable without having to be in the fire exactly. You know what I mean? Because back then, like, even the refs didn't know what was going on back when I fought James and Johnny B. So to see season 1 where things have been planned out for like a year already, and it's just going to be more of that. Like, you see guys like James Siekmann who are like super obsessed and super invested in the sport already, and they're just coming into it on fire. Whereas like me, I had no idea what slap fighting was before I did my first slap fight, and like watched a couple videos on it the night before, you know. So these guys are going to be coming in more prepared, I believe. But to that point as well, like, you have guys coming in that just want fame and that just want to be recognized and that just want to be part of something bigger than themselves. Whereas back when I joined, I didn't know it was part of the UFC. I had no idea it was Dana. I just was like, fuck, we're doing some violent shit for money. Let's get it. You know what I mean? And then I found out all this shit later. So I feel like my heart is in it way more than a lot of these people that are coming in that want to be part of something bigger and want to be popular, you know?
Yeah, I mean, chat is obviously talking about the reputation that precedes you in that you have this unbreakable chin, and like I said, I mean, I'm shocked we haven't seen you. I know you're a guy that likes to be very active, but if you had to guess, obviously we know Power Slap 9 is in Abu Dhabi. If you had to sort of guess when we could potentially see you back, could we see you on Power Slap 9? Are you open to that? Do you have your passport, everything ready for that?
Yeah, I've had my passport for years, so I'm not even worried about travel or nothing like that. If they call me, I'm gonna say yes. They know with me. They know they can bring me anybody, and I'll say yeah. They want me to move to super heavyweight, cool. If they want me to move to light heavyweight, cool. But I'll break anybody's jaw in heavyweight. So you can give me the belt next. Everybody else has failed. I haven't. I've been jumped kind of twice for that, I believe, and I just think it's time. You know what I mean? He needs to stop hiding from me. You know what I mean? Let me fucking get that. Give me that opportunity. Stop pretending like you don't know who the fuck I am. You know what I mean? I've been a champion since before I came to this motherfucker. I've taken this bitch over. I've defeated former champions. I've defeated current champions. Like, I'm not scared of any of these motherfuckers. And I'm doing what it takes to fucking. I quit my job for this, bro. I train every fucking day. I'm eating fucking right. This is consumed my whole life. I'm obsessed now. And so these motherfuckers fucked up by making me obsessed and by pretending like they don't know who the fuck I am. Now I'm serious. I got up off the couch and knocked out James. Now what the fuck you think I'm gonna do?
Man, I love that energy, man. We really, really, really need to see you back up there. A fan favorite, an OG, a guy who's been there since the beginning. Always bringing the energy. There's only one guy who could go up there and dance, with the cowboy hat on stage, and the singing and dude, the personality. For anybody who's newer to the sport, if they've been watching over the last few months, they haven't even seen you fight, which is crazy to think about. So
Wow.
definitely super excited to see you get back up there, man. And listen, nobody will argue if you get a fight against the bell. Everybody will want to see that. I'm 100% sure. So
No,
I hope to see
absolutely.
you up there soon, my brother. Thank you so much for joining me and breaking down
Thank you,
the
bro.
show a little bit, man. And no,
Thank
I will
you,
not be
everybody else
fighting
out
you
there.
for the
Let's
belt.
get it. What's that?
I said no, I will not be fighting you for the belt.
Oh, come on, bro. What about Heart Attack Grill? Let's go to Heart Attack Grill.
That we could do. We could talk about that, but
All right.
yeah.
And then karaoke. You're gonna beat me at Heart Attack Grill, but I'm gonna get you on
You're gonna
karaoke.
give me karaoke. 100% gonna give me karaoke. But
All
I'll
right,
try
dog.
it though.
Are we done? Are we out?
Brother. Yeah, you're good, brother. I
Much
appreciate
love to you,
you,
bro.
man. You're the man. We'll talk soon.
All right, brother.
There he is, DTP, always a class act as promised. Continue to move along. We got my man Wes Mena in the wings. What's up, Wes?
What's going on, fam? How you doing?
What's up, brother? How are you? You are a
Chilling.
big, large, scary guy, man. Let me just tell you that right now.
I
And you
appreciate
got
that,
and you
man.
got the voice to match it. I don't want to mess with you.
Yeah, man.
Um,
Nah, you good?
so obviously you see the episode air, you see your
Yeah.
fight. What did you think overall? Obviously, didn't go the way that you wanted it to, but overall,
Right.
what did you think of the way that they kind of presented you and the way your fight was shown?
I think they did a good job. They did a great job. I had a lot more content. I feel like they could have showed. I feel like the guys in the house, instead of like a 30-minute episode, I feel like it could have been like a 40 or 50, at least for the guys that were in the house. Um, I mean, overall, the production, the crew, everything was great, man. I had a, it was great. I just, second to none. I commend those guys. Everybody did a good job. Yeah.
Yeah, so you talked a
Yeah.
little bit about this, on the show, a little bit about your background,
Yeah.
both wrestling and football.
Yeah.
What do you think some of that training did for you to be able to kind of have the confidence that not only would you be able to do this, but also that you would be able to be successful at it?
Just being the background that I have, being because I've always been a multi-sport athlete. I did wrestling, back in high school, was very successful. Could have been a two-time state champion, lost in the finals. I had the football background, so like just being in that, like the violence of it, just always fueled me to be better. Just always motivated me, and then me being a bodyguard, just overall, just me protecting people's lives. It just all came full circle, and just I've always been in, fights and, sparring and stuff with some UFC fighters. So it's just, being hit in the face was like nothing to me, as you could tell in the episode. Yeah, of course it didn't go my way, but it was like, it was a great experience, man. And, I wish it went a different way, but it's, it just, everything just came full circle and I loved it. James did a good job. It was a great experience.
Yeah, I mean, talk to me a little bit about the bodyguard career. Obviously, you have your own
Yeah.
business. You talked about on the show. You called yourself the number one in the South for
NFL
NFL
bodyguard
protection.
protection.
What
Yes,
is
sir.
that? What does that mean? Like, how do
So
you
for
quantify
me,
that?
so like there's several lanes you can do in the bodyguard business. You could do, entertainers, you can do athletes. I've, back in, several years ago, I started with a certain rapper, and it was just like the lifestyle they lived. I didn't want to be a part of that because, it was always like some type of shootouts or, some crazy, fights going on. And I was just like, you know what, this is not worth it. Let me go to the athlete lane. Being that I went to college, I had a roommate I drafted first round. He went to Denver Broncos. So being a part of that whole situation, and then I almost made it to the league too. I played football, went to Division II school, did good, had a couple tryouts and stuff like that, but didn't make the team. So I have always had that connection of circle with the NFL. And then like I was like, you know what? Instead of doing the entertainers, let me just do athletes. Cause then when you see online, you see like guys getting into trouble, and it's just like, dude, it's okay to be flashy. It's okay to go out and have fun, but do it the right way. You work too hard your whole life to just throw something away over a stupid decision. So if you're gonna have fun, go with somebody that's gonna watch your back professionally, that's licensed, and that can just protect yourself, man. Like you don't want to be robbed, you don't want to be going to jail, driving drunk. Have a driver. You got money, so hire a driver, hire a bodyguard to protect yourself. Especially if you're from another city and you want to come to, like, let's say Atlanta. I'm in Atlanta. They want to come to Atlanta. It's like Black Hollywood out here. They want to flash, be flashy. That's all cool and dandy, but just do it the right way. And so I feel like me with my expertise dealing with that, I create that space where, like, okay, my face card is good out here. You can go out here and do have fun, and but just do it the right way. And so I just chose to be in the NFL space, and then being with, like, like a Mac Wilson and a Devontae Smith, DeAndre Swift, to, man, you name it, I've done it all. Those guys are actually tuned in, watching my stories and stuff, and I love the support that they've been giving me. But just like being around those guys and for them having to come back and deal with me at multiple occasions, I have their trust, and they feel protected around me because you got to move a certain way. You can't just be, oh, I'm a big guy and I can protect anybody. No, you got to have full experience. You got to have, your license, and you got to know what you're doing, because if a situation pops up, you got to know what you're going to do. Or you going to fold up like a bitch, or you just going to handle what you got to do. And but yeah, man, just being in the NFL space, I've accumulated over 30 NFL clients just by referring teammates. Never asked for handouts. I got it out the mud. All those guys always refer me to their teammates, and that's how I was able to, be in certain circles and go to celebrity softball games and just, network was my biggest thing. And it's been well for me. It's been well for me. I can't complain.
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming this is armed, right?
Yeah,
Armed
arms.
body
Oh yeah,
gun.
most definitely. Yes, sir. Yes,
What's
sir.
your weapon of choice?
So bro, I have a whole slash of guns. um i like I like Springfield. I like the Hellcats because they're small. They're 9 millimeter. I do all my guns, all my pistols are like 9 millimeters. I do Glock. They're very reliable. Glock 19. Um, yeah, I'm very selective, bro. And then I have, like, my ARs, all that stuff. And, yeah. So those are like my guns. I like my Hellcat. And then I also have a gun that's looks like a credit card. So you fold it, and then it, like, you could be going to, a strip club, and they're really tight on security. And then, but anyways, but
We're not gonna expose and
I
see
always
this,
have it
man.
armed on me. So just know that. I'm not gonna come looking, nah. I'm always have something armed.
Yeah, 100%. And then
Yeah.
before we look back at the fight and kind of
Mhm.
talk us through it, do you have any crazy bodybuilder, excuse me, bodyguarding stories?
Man, bro, if I were to tell you something, bro, I'll probably get in trouble. I done been in some situations, man, where just some shootouts, just, you name it, brawls, bro. I done did it all. That's just so when people ask me, "Yo, Wes, put me on. I'm trying to, do this, bro." I can just tell, bro. No, you're not built for it, bro, because it's not for everybody. This is something you can't just get into. I have years of experience. I'm protecting people's lives. I've been shot at. You gotta know what you gotta do, bro. You gotta be licensed, number one. If you wanna be in this profession, bro, first of all, go get your armed and unarmed certifications. That's number one. And then number two, go get your PI, be a private investigator. Know the ins and outs of each law. Go to the states. I travel with my guns too. I'm on planes with it. I check it in. You know, my market is Miami. I go to Vegas. I go to, Houston a lot. I go to Cali. Those are like my markets. Chicago. So it's just like try to stay away from up north. New York area. It's kind of crazy over there. But for the most part, yeah, I travel with my guns, bro. And you gotta know what you're doing, bro, because you're protecting people's lives, and I'm charging. I'm coming with that. I'm taxing, bro. So it's just like, you want to be professional, come with it. So yeah,
Yeah, 100%, man. And I think in part, let's go through your fight, but in part, I
yeah,
think part of this is why you have the confidence to go up there, like you talked about unarmed combat, and
yeah.
again, just putting yourself, being willing to put yourself in harm's way takes a certain type of personality. I think that one, it's unique to this, but also it brings a new element to the table that's very interesting. And of course, I'm sure you have some pretty intriguing stories to tell.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
So first strike here.
Yeah,
Um,
no. They call me for foul.
yeah, they gave you a club here, and
Yeah,
if I remember correctly, you disagreed it right there. You said, "What?"
yeah.
Watching it back, do you think it was a foul?
Man, hell no. Look at that. You can see it's clear right there. I mean, shit. I mean, if they called it, bro, I'm not gonna dispute it. It is what it is. I think it was the second hit or something like that when I forgot which one it was, but yeah, bro. I mean, I feel like it was a little bit of clean hit. They could have gave that to me.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely saw in the third fight that Darren Godfrey looked like he got away with a club. So
Yeah.
you know, it happens. It's a tough thing to referee because it happens
And
so fast.
And then I don't know if you can pause it, but like just judging from the slap score from the beginning, like that slap score shit to me don't mean shit, bro. Like it's either you can have all the muscles you can hit harder all you want, but if you don't have a chin, bro, this is not the sport for you, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I got knocked down, whatever, but you can see I ate his slaps. And like, with that combine, that they had at the beginning of the show, bro, like everybody was able to hit it once. It's my first time doing that shit. I feel like if I would have hit it a couple more times, bro, I would have got up there with James. So it's just like, cause for the most part, I'm like 95% stronger than people around me anyway. So it's just like him having that score, okay, cool for him. And it is what it is, bro. I'm not really tripping on that because I know what I can bring to the table. I just got to show it. So that's just on that slap score situation.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, you're not the only person that says that and has said that. And actually, my co-host Corey, who unfortunately couldn't be here, but you'll meet him when he gathers you guys up to do interviews.
Okay.
He's somebody that's been critical of the slap score and the idea that it doesn't necessarily reflect your potential. The way that it's calculated is really weird, and it's not
Yeah.
really a transparent process. So, definitely something that I think we can see. So, in order to be able to pause. Second strike. Hold on, stop. Oh, there you go.
Okay.
You see
There
that?
we go. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Let me fix that. All right, you can see this.
Mm-hmm.
There won't be any audio for copyright reasons, of course.
Right.
But Turpin supporting this guy as he always does. His windup is a bit low.
Yeah.
So this one was interesting, right? In the moment he gets hit with a clubbing foul.
Yeah. They said I flinched.
On part review, they give it a flinch, and it'll show here in slow motion. I want you to tell me, do you agree or disagree? Obviously, you're very excited.
Yeah.
You feel like you've broken his confidence because he wasn't able to really change anything. Now
Yeah.
you get told you flinched, and you're like,
Yeah.
no, man, I didn't flinch. But
Yeah.
watching it back, what do you think?
Watching it back, you could tell I moved a little bit. It wasn't as bad as some of the other guys, but I mean, I'm not gonna dispute it, bro. If they said I flinched, bro. It sucks, because I felt like I was ready for it. Like I'm not no bitch to just like, ooh, like no, like nah, like just come and give it to me, because I'm gonna give it too, And unfortunately, they said I flinched, and I mean, it is what it is, bro. I'm not tripping, bro.
Yeah, Hunter, that's a good attitude to have. So now he's gonna hit you again in the same round.
Yeah.
And I'll just tell you from having watched a bunch of fights, this to me, I was
Right.
impressed that you stood on your feet here.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. I saw your eyes go up, and I kind of saw you the way you buckled. Normally, you see that like I don't know if you ever seen the Delvin Hamlet fight with Vern, but he kind of did that number where it stands you up stiff, and then you lose your footing and you kind of fall backwards.
Yeah.
I was really, really impressed that you didn't. And I'll pause this and now I'll let you kind of comment. Like, what were your thoughts? I mean, obviously he hit you with something that you were like,
yeah,
oh.
he hit me like he hit me pretty good. Like they said he got the highest slap score, and I felt it on that one. That one, I felt it. I remember vividly. I actually remember when he hit me. Like it's like I was looking forward, and then like everything was just shifting, and I was like trying to just kind of catch myself. But yeah, man, I give it to James, man. My respect to him, to be honest, bro. Like he did his thing, and I'm not gonna take anything away from him. He had a little swing to him, but it's like, to me, I felt shit like that before, bro. And it's just like, I know myself. I'm a beast, dog. So it's just, being able to just catch myself. I feel like anybody else would have went down, because I have a fortitude of just toughness, bro. Like I'm not gonna just roll down like a bitch. But he did get me right there. I felt a little bit right there. But mind you, he hit me twice in a row, so it's just like, I flinched and then he had to hit me again, so it's, it is what it is.
Yeah, I'll tell you what,
I
after
took
something
it.
like that, you probably never want to flinch again.
No, hell no. I'm not. I'm gonna try to just, try to be
All right.
still.
So now it's your turn again. He looks a little different than he did the first time.
Yeah, he's trying to brace himself.
He's like moving his eyes, watching your hand move, which
Yeah.
you don't usually see that. Normally, guys just try to stay looking forward.
Yeah.
I thought maybe he was a little more concerned. Maybe with the first one you hit him with, he might have been a little nervous, but overall takes the strike pretty well. And now we go back to you on the second round, third slap, and this is the one that obviously. But again, even here, so same posture. What I thought was going to happen the first time happens.
Yeah.
But here's where it gets crazy, and this is about the dog. You're like gone, and you're still just rolling around trying to get up.
Yeah.
Like it's just it shows the toughness. It shows that grit. Normally guys will just lay there flat and they're like, yeah, I'm done. The towel's in.
No, fuck that shit, bro. I'm trying to get up, bro. All
and
that.
I'll show it again.
Yeah.
I don't mean to make you relive this, but just again, this is
No, no,
even
you
though if
good,
you
bro. I
lose and
embrace
you
it.
get knocked down, you the way that you try to recover. I mean, look right here. This is something we don't see. You're on your belly. You can tell your extremities aren't working the way that you want them to. You're
Yeah,
off balance. You know, and you're still just rolling around trying to figure out
yeah,
how to get back up. We
yeah,
very, very rarely see people try to bring that kind of
yeah.
recovery to the table, especially if they get hit clean in that way. You know, again, and you talked about it a minute ago, but do you think why do you think he took your strike so well? I mean, obviously you're a powerful guy,
Hmm.
but he looked like he kind of. Do you think he has a chin? Do you think you made some mistakes? What would you attribute that the fact that he kind of looked like he was able to absorb your strikes pretty well?
It was just like to me honestly, I feel like even when I hit him, I didn't hit him with everything I had because I was just the nerves, bro, just like being amped up, and then I was hit and stuff. So it's just like I feel like it was more of the nerves, just being up there for the first time. I feel like now that I got that experience under my belt, I know I can come more correct, and I give it to James, bro. He did his thing, bro. He ate my shit, bro. Cause I feel like anybody else, even on that first lap, anybody else would have went down. I came full fledged force, break to the face, and he ate it, bro. And I give him mad props, bro, for real. And uh, yeah, I felt like I could have did a little better, technique wise. All the flinching and clubbing, apparently that happens. But yeah, bro, it's just I make mistakes and you just learn from it, and you just gotta keep the ball rolling, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, again, you guys are heavyweights. There's a lot of power being traded between the two of you.
Yeah,
But I mean, ultimately, like I said, I think there's a couple moments in that I'm impressed with, particularly the just the determination for you to try to recover, even though you're clearly out on your feet. You know,
yeah,
obviously he hit you with something, and you're still like rolling around. You're
yeah. Trying to get
trying to
up,
get your
yeah,
body
man.
to work the way that. And we talked about this episode 1 when we had Gianni on. He
Hmm.
did an interesting one where it looked like his bottom half just didn't work, but his top
Right.
half was functional. So it
Yeah,
was just, but when he fell, his legs locked up,
yeah,
and it was interesting seeing him trying to figure out how to utilize those to get back to his feet.
yeah.
This is
I think it's
obviously
breaking up a little bit. It's breaking up a little bit.
okay, is getting any
I can
better?
hear you now. I can hear you now.
Okay,
Yep.
perfect. I'm not sure what's going on. StreamYard has been a little weird today. So obviously you get the win.
Yeah.
Not the way that most people want to get a win, but again,
Yeah.
we get to see your toughness. We get to see. I mean, James Siekmann, right? His name on Instagram is the Iron Chin.
Yeah.
Obviously, we know he has the highest slap score. So there's just a lot of attributes of this guy that you would think are really impressive, and they're kind of
Hmm.
numbers that you haven't really seen. You have a moment with him. You get your fight. You end up getting a win. Where do you think that puts you as far as like I guess your stock? Do you feel like you kind of got to go out and now have a better performance? Obviously, you my assumption is you move on to the second round because you win. I don't want to
Hmm.
know what happens there. I'm not asking anything about that, but just in
Right.
general, at that moment, you win, but the way that you win, obviously, you're not feeling good because you got dropped
Right.
and whatever else. In your head, what is it that you have to do now going into the next round?
I feel like I feel like I should be, above him because I obviously he had to cheat to, hit me or whatever or whatever. But at the same time, that's not the win I wanted. So I want to be able to prove myself. So whoever they got in front of me, I have a couple people in mind, but I feel like I need to do some redemption. Like, I have a lot to prove and I have a lot to offer to the sport, and I feel like shit, if they call me up, whatever they have on the table, I'm ready, bro, because like I've been hustling, I've been grinding, I've been working, every day just to make sure I don't have these same mistakes. I feel like James is a great competitor. At the end of the day, I'm gonna give him some respects, but I feel like I should be maybe ranked ahead of him just because yeah, it's not the win I wanted, but I deserve to be in front of him, to be honest. And that's just how I feel. Obviously, it could not go that way. You have the matchmakers or whatever, Eric or whatever. But if they give me an opportunity to fight, rank the punch, someone people call me. So if they haven't given me an opportunity to fight somebody ranked, I'll take it. I have a few people in mind. Um, yeah, man. I just it is what it is, bro.
Well, again, I'm not asking what happened in round 2.
Oh, I can't hear you. Hold
Uh-oh.
on. I can't hear you.
Yeah, if somebody called, that might be why.
I can't hear you, bro.
Oh, he can't. Yeah, it's not gonna help me. It's all good here. Let me see if I can.
Let me see.
Let's see if we can get him back here real quick. Obviously, though, for
Someone
chat, if
called
you
me
guys
and
have
messed
any
up the
questions or
audio.
anything, yeah, that's how it always
Okay.
goes. Yeah, so when we get him back in here, we'll finish up our conversation. But obviously, great performance from him. Even in the wake of getting knocked out, so to speak. I mean, he obviously wasn't unconscious because he was moving, but out on his feet in a way that we never want to see. Definitely looks vicious. But again, the guy's grit, his determination was incredible. Let me just play that back. That was, I mean, it really is a sight to behold. You don't really see that very often where a guy's so hurt and. Let's see. So obviously James is going to hit him again here, and you'll see the part in here. I'll add him back in. There he is. Can you hear
There
me
we
now?
go. Yeah, I can hear you perfectly.
So I was just talking to the viewers right now about.
Mhm.
So yeah, just no quit. I mean, he lays on the ground quickly and then says, you know what, I'm trying to get up, rolling around, just consistently trying to get up. Will not accept being down.
Defeat.
And even even Dana is like, holy shit, So kudos to you, man. That toughness, even in defeat, I think personally you showed a lot of ability. Obviously clean up a little bit of things. Go back to the drum board, get your technique right, but I think personally, I'm excited for your prospect in the heavyweight division. You were talking about, potentially wanting some or having some interest in particular people in the rankings. So what I would say to you now is, feel free to call your shot, man.
I mean, I see Nate Bernard over there, man. I feel like we can put on a great show. We could do a bodyguard versus bodyguard, power slap. He has, his way of. I feel like we can bring some fireworks to that table. Nate Bernard, I see, even Ryan Phillips. I see those guys, chopping at the bit. I see y'all, man. So, whatever y'all want to do, I'm with it, man. Let's give people a great show. Let's get some viewers up. Let's electrify Dubai. Let's do that, man. Let's put on a show because we need to knock out the bell, man. He's been sitting up there too way too long at the top, and I'm hungry, bro. I'm ready to get it. So if anybody want it, come with it. Just bring me your A game. I'll bring you my A game. But Nate Bernard, Ryan Phillips, any of those guys, top 5, let's do it, man. Let's do it. I'm ready.
There it is. Well, it's been a
Yeah.
pleasure, man. Thank you for joining me. Happens in round 2. It's cool to hear a little bit about your background and the bodyguard and stuff. I like the bodyguard plug you did for Nate Bernard. Obviously, identifying that bodyguard versus bodyguard thing.
Yeah, man. I think
That'd be a fun
awesome.
fight. Even the football thing, right? I think
Yeah,
there's
football.
a lot
It's too much
of football
connections.
backgrounds. Yeah, there's a lot of football
Yeah.
backgrounds in the sport right now, particularly in the heavier weight classes. You got a guy like Evian Scott, Kalani Vakamelalo, obviously up at super heavy, but
Yeah.
a lot of these guys come with this background. I think that, to your point, a lot of this is you guys are all just built different. So
Yeah,
really
man.
good to see you around too, man. Again, thanks so much for joining me. We will
Appreciate you,
talk.
buddy. Yes, sir. Thank
All right,
you.
Wes. Take care,
Yep.
man. All right, there you have it, chat. We made it. Unfortunately, I had Delvin Hamlin in the wings. I don't know what happened. We were running a little bit behind, so we'll get him on next week. I appreciate you guys sticking that out with me. No Corey today, so you don't get to see any of that luscious hair. But again, he dropped in the chat earlier. If you did not see it, he's working on some pretty cool stuff in Las Vegas for all of you guys. We will release that as soon as we are able to. But yeah, again, like I said, appreciate you guys. Don't forget Tuesdays, Smack Talk, 7 p.m. on the East, 4 p.m. on the West. On Wednesdays, we have this show, The Final Slap. Immediately following the episode, we bring on OG strikers, guys who've been around a while. We bring on guys from the season who have won. We also have our interviews dropping Thursdays and Fridays. If we aren't able to get some of these guys on the show, and even in that case, sometimes we still want to talk to them afterwards, get some insight, ask some questions. So if you ever have any questions that you guys want us to ask, please feel free to comment on the video, drop them in chat, DM us on Instagram, comment on a post. whatever you want to do, we will read it, we will see it, and we will make sure that those questions get asked and answered. As always, we do this for you guys. Our job here at Slap News is to give you unbiased, fair coverage, give you our true opinions, and make sure that we're doing the work that you guys want us to do. Because at the end of the day, you're watching us, tuning in, you're the ones that support us. So we want to make sure that we're delivering on our promise and always showing support. So once again, thank you guys so much for being here with me tonight. Unfortunately, Corey couldn't make it, but he's watching. So I appreciate you guys. Hope you have a great evening, and we will see you guys next week.